Lansing, Michigan with the NCAA Women's Bowling Regional. Coach, just give a statement about that against Wichita State.
I felt like it was a tough match. I felt like Wichita came. We had a pretty decent lead the first 4 frames of the traditional match, and then we sort of had a rough 5, 6, and 7. I thought Wichita did a very good job of sort of closing that gap. We talk about like the matches or games of runs, and they sort of answered our run, and then we sort of struggled. With the transition. It was a lot different than it was from the morning. I think it really shows that like who's playing is really going to impact like how it breaks down. And so the information that we got this morning wasn't necessarily information that was helpful to us this afternoon. It took us a lot of time basically to figure out that like we needed to slow it down and be softer and be comfortable with doing that to be able to execute and repeat. This morning there was a lot of surface use on the outside that allowed us to be a little bit firmer, and we weren't able to do that this afternoon. And so we were able to make that last match a little closer with that game 4, but ultimately we didn't handle the little things very well. We missed a lot of makeable spares, things that could have made that match a little tighter. So give credit to Wichita. I thought they played pretty well for the entirety of it. And our hope is tomorrow that we can do something in the morning and see them again.
In the Baker portion specifically, the left lane proved to kind of be the best lane. Did you guys notice the trend in the beginning? And if so, when did you see like both lanes were starting to just really be far away from one another?
I think in that first Baker game, I thought the traditional game they were pretty similar. And then, maybe the fact they started with the front 4 and we, looked like we were playing outside in the parking lot. I felt like that sort of set the momentum for that game. And then in some ways it's interesting because to me, like, a lot of times like lanes are different, but then sometimes they're just different in your head. And so with them throwing the big score at the beginning, and getting a 77-pin lead after the first game, I wonder how much of that was actual difference and how much was psychological difference. Because we started bowling, we bowled decently on the left lane, so there was a difference. But I wonder how much of it was psychological.
What are you hoping to see differently from the team tomorrow in the morning and then going into hopefully the afternoon?
I mean, the thing that I've always stressed is we just have to be ourselves. We have to play to the capables and the levels that we set. To me, if we do that, I think we'll be fine. I think when we start pressing, when we talked to the group after Game 3 and we were down a bunch, and we were like, it's going to be a mathematical improbability to win this game. And, we had a chance to shoot 280 in Game 4. But we did that because we stopped trying to strike. We were trying to execute. We were trying to feel good about leaving this place, knowing that we got to come here tomorrow, and setting a sort of a momentum for that. And so I think if we focus on sort of the execution and the process and don't worry about the result, we'll be okay. I think if we start squeezing it and trying to make something happen, it's going to be a long day.
We want to leave you with one positive because I thought Haley Lindley has been fantastic all day.
Yeah.
Can you just briefly discuss her development in her
Well,
sophomore?
I mean, she's been nursing a couple injuries. She's kind of taped up, so we've been trying to sort of pitch counter throughout the spring. We're trying to get her enough work that she's confident and has the ability to execute, but not to work her too much. And so, I feel like she's been phenomenal. She matches up really well. She's been repeating shots. She's been everything that you really want someone to be. And so, so when we're looking at like the other people on our team, we're like, who has a good look? Haley has a good look. So if you want to score, you're gonna have to try to throw it like she does. And so, so we're going to slow it down. We're going to be a little softer with our hand, and maybe we can, have 4 other girls that can do that.
Thank you, John.